Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about a release from USCP, so it's a Ukrainian scale car production. And as you remember, this brand usually produces the sets for 124 scale models, so today we have another thing which might be handy with the car build. And as you can see, this time it will be useful with the BMW 2002 Tii. So here we have the engine set, and the set number is written here, so it's 24T024, and the set itself should be handy with the Hasegawa kit, for example, so we'll also have a chance to compare it with the Hasegawa. And of course we will talk more about why this kit is useful for your BMW build. So first of all, here is the packaging. I would say somewhat standard. As you can see, we have only, let's say, the box art or the cover. It's a small cardboard box, and if I open it, here is what I have inside. We have the QR code for the assembly instructions, and we have the parts which are packed in between the bubble wrap. So I'm going to open it carefully and also show you what we actually have here, because I can see that there is a whole set of the various parts. So we will start with the large part, which is used as the, let's say, frame for the engine bay. I will just zoom in a bit, and here you can see what we are talking about. So this single piece part will come handy in order to be installed in the cutout. And now comes the tricky part, because as you remember, the original kit does not have an engine. That's why this set is very useful. So here is the Hasegawa BMW 202, and as you can see, the bonnet is actually pre-molded. It's not openable. You won't be able to do much here, and that's where the separate bonnet set comes handy. So that's the, as you can see, the bonnet set from the same manufacturer, and we get this separate bonnet part which can be actually used with this one. And maybe what I can also try out of curiosity is whether those parts will combine together, so just to do the dry fitment, and it looks like it's really nice fitment. So just to show you what I'm talking about here is the part installed on it, and as you remember, this is the forward opening bonnet, so it should be opening like this. But this is really cool fitment. Frankly speaking, I wasn't even expecting such stuff, but it shows that there was some kind of engineering used in order to achieve such fitment overall. Next, I'm removing the minor parts, and yes, there are actually plenty of those parts, so be ready to work with them. And also it's better to find some reference material, because here we get, I'm trying to understand why I have the, I think that's the engine fan, but I think the engine fan has the broken off blades due to the packaging. So here you can see what I'm talking about, this one, and I'm not sure how I will be fixing it, but you can see that blades are not lost, so maybe I'll just glue them back into the place. Of course not now, but this is something to consider. And well, I found all of the blades, but if you will be considering building this kit, definitely also pay attention to this element. Next, we continue with additional parts for the engine bay. So here we continue with several more. Then there is some parts for the brake cylinder. I can see also the battery and some cover of the belts cover, I think. But this is obviously the master cylinder for the brakes. Then we have also the exhaust stack and some box of the controllers probably. As you can see, exhaust stack is molded as a single piece part, so you just separate it off the base and you are good to go. Next, we continue with minor elements. So here we have a lot of interesting stuff which will be used for fine features on the engine. And as you can see, it's actually a lot of things going on to the engine, so it would be a shame not to show it. So definitely think about exposing it on your model. And last but not the least is the frontal subframe, which is used also to be installed from the bottom, so that it won't be just a emptiness from inside. So definitely good attention to the details. But that's not all. We have more things on the next, or in the next plastic bag, so just give me a moment. And there are also some interesting things included as well. So first of all, I would like to start with an engine block, so I will move those parts aside. And for the engine block, as you can see, that's the one-piece part, and we have some elements premolded, but as you saw, mostly all of other elements will be installed later. And as far as I remember, this was the 6-cylinder in a row, so typical BMW engine configuration. And next we continue with the radiator grille. So this one, as far as you can see, is molded together with the special radiator bracket, which is actually holding in place this part. We also have the radiator cap, which is also pre-molded, let's say, or pre-casted. So it's just a matter of combining all of this stuff together. Next, suddenly we have the 3D printed part. So this one, as far as you can see, is used for the air intake. And it looks like it's actually a 4-cylinder engine. And shame on me, because I didn't remember which engine was installed on 2002, but it still looks quite nice. I mean, the 3D printing is actually quite handy for such things. And here we also have the engine cover and also the oil pan for the engine. As you can see, these are also molded as single-piece parts. Maybe it's a bit of shame that oil cap is molded or pre-casted as a single-piece part. It would be fun to leave it aside. And next, we also have the clear block. I guess this one is used for fuses in the engine compartment. As you can see, it's really tiny, so try not to lose it because there are no spares in the box, and if you lose it, then you have to fix it with your own hands and tools. And another nice surprise is the decals. So this is something what I was not expecting. Here we get actually a lot of decals which should be used in the engine bay. And why I'm saying that it's a quite nice surprise, because some brands which actually include the engine in the standard plastic kit, they still ignore all of the stencils. And in my opinion, this is what actually makes the engine bay look a bit more convincing. And I think this is really a useful thing, and definitely something what we'll have influence on the final appearance. So do not be lazy and apply all of the symbols. Maybe I can try to show it even closer so that you can see that the printing quality is really good. I can also try to look into it my own eyes. And well, the technical stencils are not exactly readable. Maybe you need the magnifying glass, but well, for example, the typical BMW plate about the body color, it's readable, so that's really cool. And as you remember, the assembly manual should be assembled with help of this QR code. So if you wonder how to assemble this whole stuff, you have to download it. So again, we have the standard Hasegawa kit, which has the closed bonnet. So in case you would like to have some engine, you don't get it out of the box. And this is something to remember. Today's set should actually help you to get better finish and also to get something interesting, because as you saw, even doors are pre-molded. So this set should be already available on USCP website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.